Okay, it's time to get excited, everyone. I have created my own contraption, my own visualization of a tier list. Now, there's no science to this. Just want to go ahead and address that really fast. No science whatsoever. But let's just talk about what we got here. We got 4 quadrants. For reference, this is the fun and potential graphing plotting of boss relics, right? This actually isn't really a tier list. It's kind of just a little contraption. But let's talk about the 4 quadrants we got here. So first one, I'm going to relate these all to someone that you probably knew growing up, and it's going to be fabulous, all right? First off, up here in the high potential low fun, we're talking about the class president, the valedictorian. Everyone knows that they're going to go far, they're going to do great, but boy, are they a stick in the sand. No one wants to really hang out with them, but damn it, if you didn't want to latch your little trailer to them because you know they're going places. That's up here in the top left. Number 2 here, high potential, high fun. This is the life of the party. They show up, everyone knows them, not a bad thing to say. They're a great time. You can put them in any group of people and they get along with everyone. They are essentially the epitome of golden retriever, right? This is going to be some trauma dumping? Maybe. I will say, I like to see myself as high potential, high fun. You know what I mean? But they're also going places. You know? They're the grandiose big timers. And yeah, everyone loves them. All right, low potential, low fun. You know, person that is content. You know, they're not really doing much. And they're not really living their dreams. They're just chilling. They're nice. And lastly, you got low potential, high fun. What's called like the class clown, right? Everyone knows that they're cooked after high school. You know, they're great though to have around in the meantime, but after high school, that's all they had. They had the jokes they played on Professor Dumbledore, and everyone loved it, but now they've moved on with their life. So anyway, as we go through this, I would love to hear your thoughts. You can see this is the fun scale. So fun from least to most fun, and then potential, least potential to the most potential. And this is obviously my opinion. I feel like that's a little caveat there. But, you know, where do you want to start out on? I feel like we should go ahead and start out with Snecko Eye, right? Runic Dome is surely the king of low fun because it makes you use your brain to remember stuff. I don't know. I find Runic Dome fun. We'll get there. All right. So I don't think this is a shock to anyone, right? Snecko Eye is the highest potential and the most fun. Who doesn't love RNG? And also, I mean, granted, I did just die with it, but you know, I strongly cannot find anything more fun and exciting than grabbing Snecko Eye. It's just chaotic. And also it wins runs. So now on the other side of that, what is the lowest potential and the least boring thing ever? I hate to say it, but I believe it might be Empty Cage. I know it's crazy. I am going to give it a little bit more potential because I think there's things that have less potential, but I do think it's like on the scale of one of the least fun things to play. So I think it's that low potential. I mean, it's definitely in the yellow quadrant. I think we can always adjust these later, but I think it chills over here, but it's definitely not fun. I mean, what's fun about losing cards? All right. Let's get a contentious one out here. Runic Pyramid. Obviously very high potential, S tier, but is it fun? Is it fun? Low potential. Don't be talking about poor tiny house. I think we're gonna go, it's pretty fun. No, it's not. It's not interactive though. You got to think about the fun here. You get what you get. It's the same thing. You don't discard. I think I'm gonna go with like maybe here. You think P-Box must be higher than Snecko? I don't know. We'll move on. We'll get to the P-Box at one time. All right. Philosopher's Stone. Pretty high potential. Probably not as high as Runic Pyramid. And I would definitely say less fun than Runic Pyramid as well. Mainly because you're getting smashed around. Seems fair. Why not? Let's grab... What is looking real bad? What about Ecto? Definitely not fun. Definitely not fun. Who doesn't want to never earn money again? You literally become poor. It is very unfun. I think it's down here on the fun scale, but it's probably right. I'd say it's like right at the tip of high potential. I mean, you get energy still, right? It's hard to It's hard to say it's low potential because you are getting 1 energy, but boy, she sucks. How about a little black blood? This probably fits, let's say, it's definitely no interaction, probably lower potential than Cage maybe? Well, no. You know what we're gonna say? We're gonna say like all boss relics are just gonna be mostly not fun. I think it's probably at the same point of this and maybe a little lower potential. The only thing it gives me is it allows me to take more damage, and that's pretty fun. Ring Snake, ooh, another classic. We'll just knock out the couple classics here. The swappers. Probably, I'd say it's probably got more potential than both of these. Doesn't really have a lot of fun either though. This just probably sits somewhere in here. These are the ones I think I'll struggle with the most. Now here, Frost Orb, not really fun. I wouldn't say it's less unfun than this. It's always fun to get orbs. Maybe it's just my bias into Defect. It's fun to play Defect, but it's probably low potential, but it's a little higher on the fun scale. Maybe somewhere like right here. Yeah, I think I would put her right here. All right, Busted Crown. This might be a little contentious, but I think I'd probably put it right here. I think it's above Ecto. It's above Ecto, but I think they're in the same fun category. Maybe a little slight into, it's a little bit more fun than Ecto. So maybe like right here. That feels right. We'll grab another Punishing One, Coffee Dripper. Probably the highest potential of these so far. I'd almost say it's, oh boy. It's definitely high potential. I think it's just barely outside the fun category. Hard to say you can't rest is like, what's fun about just not resting? I don't know. All right, should we do it? Let's go with Astrolab first. I'll save Pandora's Box for a little later. I think for Astro, I think it's low potential, just barely, but I do think it's pretty fun because you're getting upgraded cards. Hard to say that it has high potential, but it's right on the fringe. Mainly because we gotta spread the love. We can't have everything over here in the low fun category. Something else has to be fun. Let's do the dome. Why not? Now this is probably more fun. I don't know. This is my interpretation of dome. I like dome because it's fun not having to think, whereas others are probably like, I have to think. You know what? I'm gonna throw her in here. I think it gets a little bit. I think this is where my opinion of dome definitely outweighs most people's feelings. I think it's fun and I like taking dome. There was a time where I think I took dome more than I should have because I just liked the challenge of it. But I've stepped away from it. I started taking dome when it makes sense. So my dome win rate has actually skyrocketed conveniently. But I think it's still fun. I think it's a little fun. Well, I'm sorry Kavana doesn't have a dark mode. Actually, maybe it does. Who would have thought? All right, let me refresh this. I think it should make it dark. Problem solved. There you go, Faith. It's not gonna, it goes left immediately. You can see where I clearly know what I'm doing. All right, this is actually much nicer. Let's grab, I'm gonna save Pandora's Box a little bit. You're welcome. Thanks, Faith. Thanks, chat. Tiny House. This could be definitely low potential. I think it has more fun than all of these, but I think it gives the least potential, yeah? I think it sits like right here. All right, how about a little Lotus? This is probably just in, this is probably more like Kite a little bit. I think this will be just like Kite. Hard to say. I think maybe right here. Lower potential than Ecto? Maybe. I like I said, I think if I bring Kite's a very similar one. I do think it's a lower potential because it's harder to play, but I do think it has more fun because I think about discard. I think this is a little bit on the fun side because you're like cycling through your deck, right? So when you get Kite, you're going to be calculated gambles. You're going to be getting a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I think discard builds are fun, and that's what Kite gives you. I don't think it's necessarily something that gets you into high potential, high fun. All right, Inserter. This one's tough because I feel like when you pick Inserter, it falls into like Dome territory. Is that you already have like Orb Generation or you have Focus. So like it really unlocks the potential. And I mean, making orbs is fun for sure. For me, I think I'm going to throw this maybe right here. Not as fun as the Dome, but I think it's in a similar spot as the Dome. Black Star, the notorious Black Star that I never seem to pick. I never pick it on Act 1, and it's the most tilting thing. And it's probably because I would find it down here lower on the, very low on the potential, and maybe up here on the fun. Black Star low potential, it's such a high ceiling. You think it should go up? I definitely agree it's high potential, but are you... Well, yeah, it's low fun. You're forced into taking elite fights that maybe you don't want to. I think I just put it in low fun because I tend to pick these other things. I'm sold. I will go up a little higher. I will put Black Star. Patrick Star will make a trick. Elite fights are fun. That's why they're elites. I don't know if I agree with that. Some fights make you want to just give up and restart. Runic Cube. This guy right down here, definitely a loser. Definitely in the yellow category. I think I'm gonna put it, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't do much potential-wise, but I wouldn't say it's like unfun. It's kind of like the opposite of a kite. Let's maybe like put it like right here. Let's bring out the bell. This one might be very contentious. The bell is definitely on the highest of the highs here. Definitely the highest of the highs. Do we throw it into above Runic Dome? Probably. I think it sits like right here, maybe. Can't wait for Reddit to rip me apart. Me either. The best part is, this isn't even really like a serious thing. How can you gauge a man's funness? That's why they called me Funyuns. Next one, Mark of Pain. I'd say this is probably like right here. So definitely lower on the fun scale. Maybe like right here. I think I would take this. Let's go right here. Seems reasonable. I think it's higher potential than these two, but I do find Coffee Dripper easier to deal with. I think this is reasonable. Give me the nuclear battery. I think this is almost like, if I could pick one that's like in the middle, it might honestly be nuclear battery. I think nuclear battery just sits right in the middle. Mark of Pain higher potential than Rage Bait? It could be. It could be. These aren't final. These aren't final. I am spitballing right now. I'll have to review it myself after I get done. But I think I'll put... Alright, Slaver's Collar. Probably put you right here, yeah? I think this is also pretty fringe. Low potential, high fun. Slaver's Collar works with bosses though, right? Maybe I move it into like on the fringe as well. I don't know. It's a scatter plot. It's my scatter plot. Yeah, it's bosses and elites. I think I'd put it like here. It gets a few extra fun points because it's a collar. You know, and that's kinky. That's kinky shit. This guy. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I think this is probably below says the most fun. All right, I'm gonna go and also a little more fun because shiv builds are fun. And this is when you pick this up. We love a good shiv. This one's probably the most uninteresting of all. It's probably down here. Let me make this a little bigger too. Probably put her, I think I would rather have this here. Okay, so I think I need to do some adjustments. I think I put this right here. Let's go with maybe moving this up a little bit. I think that makes more sense the more I look at it. I think that's how I would rank them. Ecto, Busted, Philosopher's Stone, Fusion Hammer. I think that's the correct order of painful picks. It's kind of like a little stepping ladder. Oh, I guess we still have this one. I think this one probably... I think this might almost be lower potential than Busted Crown. Wish I could just like overlap these. I think these two sit almost side by side. Let me move Ecto over a little bit further to give it more space. Let me bench Ecto a little bit more. I think this one maybe sits a little bit right here. I think it's between Slaver's Collar. It's like a better Slaver's Collar, kinda. It's fun, yeah. Velvet Choker, it's kinky. I feel like we've already made that establishment here. All right, I'm saving the best for last. Choker, more fun than Collar. Exactly. All right, Curse Key, this is gonna be a hot take, but I do think Curse Key is actually a little bit more fun. I think I put her here because who doesn't love the RNG? I guess this is actually true. I'm starting to like, things that are random are more fun. Maybe a better way is chaos. Who knows? Holy Water, or maybe it's a different name. I think this is probably right on the case. There's nothing really fun or cool about it, but it's barely just under high potential. Blessed Water, I think that's right. Sacred Bark, dare I say, pretty low potential, but I think it's pretty fun. I mean, playing potions is fun. right? That is my speculation. All right, last but not least, the Pandora's box. Can it go above the Snecko Eye? In my opinion, I think it sits just under Snecko Eye. Just a smidgen under. Maybe I move these guys over to give them a little bit more. I think I'll do this. It seems better. I think this is worthy of putting on Reddit and seeing how much I get roasted. Don't hate it? Good. All right. I don't know what any of those do exactly, but you can still flame me. But I think this is pretty good. I do think if I could move this any higher, maybe I put this like right here. I do feel like it needs to have pretty high potential. And maybe I move this down just a smidge. I think Ecto-Suzer are really fun because of how different they make the game. Yeah, I know, but I think that's probably where like Runic Dome changes my opinion. Because it's like, to me, Runic Dome also kind of changes the way you play the game. I'm not sold yet on putting Ecto down at the bottom of the fun scale. I think if I move this around a little bit. I think Tiny House deserves a little bit more fun. And let's maybe Runic Cube this down a little bit. Yeah, I think this I guess they're kind of scatter. It's an XY graph, right? But there you have it. I think we got it.